Let's do this.
We're beautiful. Future.
Whatever. My regular niffler. Hello beautiful people, how's it going? I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be discussing Fantastic Beasts number 3. I was about to say The Crimes of Grindelwald, but that's not true. Oh no. As you all know, The Crimes of Grindelwald came out exactly a month ago today, which means we have been sitting on the concept of Aurelius Dumbledore for a whole month now, which is kind of funny because I've only made 3 videos in the past 4 weeks. Before I started, I just wanted to apologize for my lack of uploading the past couple of weeks. I understand that my channel hasn't been to the standard that it usually is. I mean, I usually upload twice a week, and now I only resorted to uploading once a week, and if I did upload once a week, it may have even been about a non-Harry Potter topic, and so it was just, it was off. I was in the middle of my exams, but it's time to be reborn, and I've missed it. So hello beautiful people, how's it going? I am back with another video. If you don't already know, J.K. Rowling announced on Twitter that she has officially finished the script for Fantastic Beasts 3. Now whether you liked Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald or not, you would understand that the story is based around Credence and finding out who he is. The location, however, some could maybe argue had nothing to do with the plot, unless you counter in the fact that the Lestrange family is of French descent. I think so, and you know, we got to understand Yusuf Kama, who is also from French descent, so I guess that makes sense. But other than that, Grindelwald, you know, made a rally in front of a bunch of French people in English. If I do sound like I'm trashing the movie, I'm really not. I just loved it, but I do make jokes about the things I like because, you know, that's how I get through things. But as we all know, the first movie took place in New York, the second movie took place in Paris, and I assumed the third would be in, I don't know, Germany, you know, because that's, or Austria, you know, that's where Nuremberg is, or something like that, maybe to build Grindelwald's army. But I guess we're going to Rio de Janeiro. Why? It's time to figure it out. Now there was a lot of speculation about where Fantastic Beasts 3 would take place. A lot of fans thought it would be in a bunch of different places, and a lot of other fans thought that it would be wherever a wizarding school was located in the entire map of wizarding schools in America that was created by, was it Pottermore? I think it was probably Pottermore. Now Rio de Janeiro has a wizarding school in it. Now I will not pronounce the name, but I will put it on here because I literally cannot pronounce it for the life of me. What I would like to mention is I do not think that's the reason that we are going to Rio in this film. At all. As of right now, December 15th, Jude Law, Eddie Redmayne, and J.K. Rowling have all confirmed that we are going to Rio in Fantastic Beasts 3, and Joe says very specifically that Rio should watch out for Newt Scamander. Another thing that Joe mentioned that I personally think is very prominent is the fact that Credence's Aurelius Dumbledore storyline will be explained in the first part of the film. I'm gonna be quite honest, I was a bit disappointed when I read that information because Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald really left us with a cliffhanger that doesn't add any substance because it's not explained. So because we never knew who Aurelius Dumbledore was, the twist in a way didn't really work because it just came out of left field. So when you compare it to a Harry Potter theory, for example, Prisoner of Azkaban, with the reveal of Peter Pettigrew, we understand that there was a person who betrayed Harry's parents, who is missing a finger because he cut it off. Just all of these things that when we figure out that he's actually Ron's rat, which is the craziest reveal ever, it still is justified because you realize that you've always known that the rat was missing a finger. It's just stuff like that, you know what I mean? Aurelius Dumbledore, however, came out of left field. Literally came out of left field. So when the reveal happens, spoiler alert by the way, and Grindelwald reveals it to Credence, you're just thinking, okay, this is a lost brother that I just never knew about in any of the Harry Potter books, was never even alluded to or mentioned, and I'm not saying it's bad storytelling, but I'm kind of saying it's bad storytelling. The only way for this to be justified is if Joe backtracks a little bit, or uses a time turner. The only way for Joe to make this completely work and make it 100% plausible is for her to go backtracking, give us Dumbledore's childhood, give us him and Grindelwald, and give us a story in which we can almost understand that there could be a missing brother in this storyline, and I understand 100% that Fantastic Beasts in the grand scheme of things is going to be fantastic, as the title says. And I quite enjoyed Crimes of Grindelwald, way more than I enjoyed Where to Find Them, and I loved Where to Find Them. In fact, Crimes of Grindelwald, arguably and very controversially, is one of my favorite films in the Wizarding world, just because of how much story we get in it. It's just a lot of moving around, and it is just so fast-paced, and Paris in the Wizarding world is just phenomenal. I enjoyed it. So when Joe announced that we would be going to Rio de Janeiro, but the beginning of the film would focus a lot on Credence, I really decided to think, and I wanted to understand what could possibly be the link between Credence, Dumbledore, and Rio. And I think I may have found the answer. A Fantastic Beasts fan site on Twitter pointed out that in 1901, the year that the ship sank in Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, is also the year the SS Rio de Janeiro ship sank. Wait, let me explain. My shower is haunted. And that was at the climactic point too. Oh, come on. What is this? Ouch. There we go. So the SS City of Rio de Janeiro was an iron-hulled steam-powered passenger ship launched in 1878, which sailed between San Francisco and various Asian Pacific ports. On the 22nd of February 1901, the vessel sank after striking a submerged reef at the entry to San Francisco Bay. Of the approximately 220 passengers and crew on board, fewer than 85 people survived the sinking, while 135 others were killed in the catastrophe. So as of now, we understand that Leta Lestrange and Corvus Lestrange, who was then obviously swapped with Credence Lestrange, got on that boat from Paris to America. So I wouldn't be surprised if they used that ship to board and then travel to America, where Corvus Lestrange Sr. wanted to send them off to for protection against the Kamas. Now, the reason I feel this is prominent is because there are no mistakes in Joe's world, no matter how much you try and say it. There are none. And I will defend that for the rest of my life. What I do feel is really strengthening, and I really mean really strengthening in this, is the fact that I think there is no link between Rio de Janeiro and any of these characters. I mean, with the Crimes of Grindelwald, it was fine that they were in Paris, but it was just such a coincidence that Nagini, Credence, Nicholas Flamel, Yusuf Kama, Leta Lestrange, Theseus Scamander, Newt, Tina, Queenie, Jacob, and Grindelwald were all in the same place at the same time at the mausoleum in a country that was not Britain or Germany or America. It just didn't make sense. So for Joe to just replicate that again and just be all like, hey, let's just go to Rio. Maybe Queenie and Jacob decide to just get married in Rio for no apparent reason. It's not going to work like that, and so there needs to be a substantial link. As we all know, Credence's aunt, who is actually labeled as Credence's aunt in IMDb, who was carrying him as a child, who then obviously got swapped with Corvus, was there for a reason. And if he is Aurelius Dumbledore, then his aunt is also Dumbledore's aunt. And then there's a question of why she boarded a boat and then sank in Rio de Janeiro, or boarded a boat from Rio de Janeiro. Do you know what I mean? There must be some sort of link between the two, and the fan that found this on Twitter, well done to you. It really did enlighten me. Now, in terms of where I think Fantastic Beasts 3 is going to go, is I think it's going to focus a lot on Credence, and I feel like Nagini is going to become a more prominent character as time goes on. I honestly feel that maybe in Fantastic Beasts 3, Queenie's going to die, because she deserves it at this point. More and more characters will be killed off. I don't know if we're going to be introduced to a lot of new prominent characters in this next film. I think Joe might learn from her mistakes of overstuffing characters, because the reviews for Fantastic Beasts were just atrocious. We're currently sitting on 580 million worldwide. That's a good number, but again, 580 million worldwide compared to 810 million that Fantastic Beasts 1 made. We're still not at the end of January, so those numbers are still like not to date, but it is still a lot. It's a quarter less. So in my mind, Fantastic Beasts 3 will focus a lot on Credence and how he's going to become a much more powerful wizard and learn to enhance the Obscurial into the wand that he was given by Grindelwald. These main characters that we know and love so much are either gonna die or take a back seat, and I'd rather they die, because then their characters would just be irrelevant in the stories that we know and love, or the stories that we're meeting and learning to know and love. me personally, I just love from the get-go. But I know that you guys, you know, some of you struggled, some of you loved it, and some of you hated it, which was really funny. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel to see a lot more Harry Potter content. Also, write me down in the comments below what you guys would like to see next. I am really excited for the direction that the channel is going. We are currently on 13,000 subscribers. So to all of you beautiful people, I love you all so much. Write down what you want me to do, because, yeah. I need the guidance. Bye, guys!